Everyone, we are back in Magical Worlds by Johanna Basford with our Castle Art Soft Touch pencils, doing the next mini house design. We have this very cute candelabra candle holder, well, with candles and flames and everything here for us to do. So let's have a little look. My goodness, it's a little house. Look, there's a teeny window there. Look at that. Right, we are going to deal with our flames first because I know how to colour those, and I'm not going to change how I do that. So I will start, I think, with the red ochre and pop a tiny bit of that right at the top of each flame. I need a really sharp pencil. There we go. Put a hard layer in that top corner and then just spread it down a teensy weensy bit. When I say hard, I don't mean pushing hard, I mean lots of layers. There we go. There's the first bit. Now we want to move to a sort of orange. We need to move through our colours quite quickly because we don't have much space. So I'm going straight to the orange lake, which is here. Now normally if I had a larger area I would go through a few different colours first, like maybe to go from the red ochre to the burnt ochre before I reach the orange lake, but there's not much space and it'll blend well enough. Now normally I would then do a few different oranges, maybe go to cadmium orange deep, cadmium orange, marigold, but we need to go straight to a sort of yellowy orange really, so could do marigold. Yeah, I think we will go to marigold. We'll keep it orange. This is quite yellowy, so I think it'll just work to finish it off. Now we have these lines coming out of our flames, so you can choose what to do with them really. You can draw some yellow around your candle to look like there's light, which is I think what I'm going to do. Or you can draw over those in sort of glitter or gold pen metallic, something like that, to make it look sparkly. I'm going to use the brilliant yellow, wherever it is. Where is it? It must be that one. I can't get it out. My tripod's in the way. There it is. And I'm going to just put a little bit of a halo around like this. I'm not pressing too hard. You can leave a little bit of a white gap actually around the flame. Sometimes that looks quite cool. I can't really see whether I've managed that or not because I can't see the yellow that well. Yellow on white, it was quite hard to see. You might notice I've done a bit of a zigzag pattern. I need to try and eliminate that. It's not really, but then it might be okay. There we go. So we just got a little bit of light coming out of them. This one's a bit paler. I got more confident as I went round. There we go. Now our candles, we can do them all different colours or all the same colour. I actually think it's going to look nicer if they're all the same colour. Whatever colour we like. Well, I think I'd like to do them green, just because we haven't got any more leaves in this row at all, so we're not going to have, it's not going to be overly saturated with green, and I like green. But I think for a candle I want quite a dark green, elegant, like I was going to pick a bottle of green. We don't really have that. Sort of have the viridian. I might use the viridian. It's quite a good all-purpose. Oh, where is it? There it is. This one's actually quite long. I've got some really short viridians in some of my castle art sets. I think it's my botanical set. It's teeny. So we have the dribbly bit and we have the main bit. How do you deal with that? Well, what I do first normally is colour the whole thing with a light layer. So I'm going to do that and sort of have a think. Now I usually do make candles look a little bit shiny because they're waxy, they have a bit of a shine. These are very narrow. So I'm going to start here, put down a really defined line, and then my next line is slightly scumbly. the same here, so a defined line here and then a slightly scumbly one here, and there it's done. Now this bit at the top I like to do just a tad lighter. Now I don't know whether that's realistic or not, because a really long time since I've burnt candles. We don't tend to do it because I have problems sometimes breathing through my nose. I don't really want to add to the sort of pollution in the air in the house with a candle smoke, so I don't burn them. So I've got a lovely candle in here, and it's a scented candle, and the smell is beautiful, and I don't burn it. I just enjoy it. I use it like it's a room freshener, and it's gorgeous. So, you know, I'm not totally against them, and it's pretty, so pretty, the tin as well. So it's not like I'm against having them. I'm just, you know, a little bit wary. So there are candles. It's not that tricky, is it? When they're larger, it takes a little bit more thought and consideration, because you might want to make the dribbly bit look a bit more three-dimensional, but you just haven't got the space. So we can keep it nice and simple. I've picked my brilliant yellow back up. I'm going to do my windows. Here, look. Nice and warm and glowy. Lovely, welcoming little house. You have to be tall. And I'm putting a window there. You don't have to do that as a window, but just for me it feels like it's one. Now these candlesticks I always think should be sort of silvery. Now you may not agree with me, but that is the colour that I seem to see them as when I see them. So that is how I'm going to colour them. I'm going to use the cool grey deep. Now it'd be nice to have a few lighter cool greys, but we don't have that, so we're going to have to just be a little bit careful with how much we use. Now with this little top bit, can you see these lines that Johanna's drawn? Now I think they're indentations, so it's almost a sort of zigzaggy piece. So I'm going to take put my hard colour on top of those lines and then fill the rest in lightly. I'm hoping that might help to give that impression. It's quite difficult to do in such a little space. I know what I'm trying to do, so help me imagine that's what it is. I don't think that's how it's supposed to work, but never mind. Now this bit here, I'm going to colour my darkest bit here. So layering up, and as we get towards the middle, less, and leave it. So we've got what looks like a little shiny bit, and that helps it to look a little bit rounder. There we go, working all the way along all three. Now underneath these end two we've got a little holder, so we can just do the same thing really, except you want to include the bottom part, so your shiny bit is really just that little central bit. There we go. Now, when we've got this sort of elaborate curly bit, what I usually try to do is put a line around the outside and leave the centre to look like it's shiny. I'm going to attempt to do that, but it is very narrow, so I'm not sure how successful it's going to be. But you want to draw a line just inside Johanna's lines. Now, unfortunately, if you've got shaky hands, it's going to be quite tricky. It might be better just to block it in, or you could even use a silver pencil if you want it to look shiny without having to put in this sort of amount of intricate work. You may not have one, but there are Castle metallic pencils. Now you see here I've just blocked that bit in by mistake, so I've just got to go with it because you can't really erase a space that small. So here I'm just trying to fill in, like here we've got quite a big gap, that's too big, so I'm just going to bring those sides in a little bit. Same here. There we go. I'm going to do the same on the other side. So again, take a bit of time, concentration, and you might need to sharpen your pencil again before you start this side. I think mine's okay, but I may stop to do it in a minute. And just work around all those little details. but be worth it, hopefully. My stomach just gurgled. I don't know if the camera microphone picked that up. I haven't eaten for a while. Had a nice lunch. But, now here, just bring that in a little bit like we did on the other side, just so our white line isn't quite so thick. And this bit I'm going to do slightly differently. I'm going to do it darker on each end with the shine there. Now this central column, you could change your colour if you want, but I feel like it should be the same colour. But I'm going to do it so that it's lighter on the edge and darker down the central part, and I'm going to make my pencil lighter. I want this bit to be lighter anyway, so I'm going to try and start with colouring just a delicate amount, just a small bit, and see, we can add more if it looks too pale, but we can't. I'm going to put a bit more just there, but it's harder to take it away. I was going to say we can take it away. Some people will dab with a putty rubber, other people will use a little normal rubber. I use my Tombow Mono eraser, but I don't think I need to. I'm happy with that. What I am going to do is I'm going to do my stand a slightly different colour, but the door, I feel like I want to match the door with the candles, so I'm grabbing the Viridian. I know we're using a very small selection of pencil colours, but I think it just is nice to match it. Now I've got into the habit lately of usually colouring my door handles the same colour as the door. I think if you've got a painted door and you've got a round handle, you would surely just paint it the same colour as the door, wouldn't you? Now I'm thinking this stand, now we could do it more sort of silvery, but I think I'm just going to do it black because I want it to look a little bit different, and I don't think it would be wood or painted or anything like that, but it might be a bit of black. I don't know. I don't know why I thought black, but I think I'm thinking black plastic, like a stand on a trophy, bottom of a trophy. But I don't know why I think that's appropriate for this, but it's just what came to mind. At least they've got some steps to get up to their door, unlike yesterday's, where it looked quite difficult to get to the front door. Just fade it off. Now if you struggle to fade, you can practice on some scrap paper, or just practice as you colour. I find practicing things on scrap paper really boring. I'd rather just have a go and just get stuck in, you know. Now we could put some white on the windows like we have on some of our houses, but I don't think I want to. I think I'm happy with it just as it is. So I think I am going to leave it there. It is quite simple, has been very quick, but actually it's a simple design. So I'm quite happy with just leaving it there. So I'm going to go. But thank you for watching today. There'll be another video later, so I hope you enjoy that if you tune in for that one. And come back tomorrow. We've got a really, really cute little teapot. I don't know what colour I'm going to do. I've got some few ideas coming into my head already, but we'll find out tomorrow whether I do it like that or not. But thank you for watching today. Hope that you enjoy the rest of your day, and happy colouring.